the reasons and the motivations for bhakti, why we should desire for bhakti, and how we should develop faith for Harikatha, for Hari Kirtan, Hari Seva. So basically, we are all conditioned souls. We are all conditioned to our sense gratification. That is our Hridroga. Hridroga means our heart disease. The most dangerous, poisonous disease we have in our heart, this is called lust, Kam. But what is the definition of that? So in the scriptures it said, Atmindriya prittivancha tare bole kam, Krishnindriya prittivancha bole premanam. To satisfy your own senses, this is called lust, Kam. But to satisfy the senses of Krishna, this is called prema. Krishnindriya prittivancha, to satisfy Krishna's indriya, bole premanam. So this is called prema. So Krishna is the only one who is allowed to be the enjoyer. Why? Because he is God. Everything he made for himself. But the problem is that we think that we just came into existence without any purpose, without God's consent, just because our parents, they made us, now we are independent from God's desire. We are having a different type of agenda. So this is the greatest problem in our life, when we disconnect our desires with God's desires. So our process of bhakti, our process of coming to temple, of taking shelter of Guru, chanting Harinam, performing sadhan bhajan, it is all about giving up our personal desires and only fulfilling Krishna's desires. It is all about this. There is nothing more in this business. But our mentality is very transactional. We want to perform bhakti to gain something. So that is why people are engaged in 4 activities. Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha. These are the desires of the common people. Right? What is dharma? Religiosity, duties, morality, what I should do according to my role in society, in family, etc. I must have somehow some inclination that God exists. I must follow some type of rituals and tradition. But why I'm doing that? Because I want artha. Next step. I want economic development. Therefore I go to temple and I pray every day. Hey Bhagavan, please give me a nice job. Hey Bhagavan, please marry my daughter with a rich man. Hey Bhagavan, please give me a new house, a new car. Always transactional. Why? Why we want artha? Why we want to become rich, wealthy? For the next step. What is the next step? Kam. Without wealth, there is no good enjoyment. There is no good enjoyment. So, and after you try to enjoy your life, after you try to become God himself, in the sense that you became the proprietor of something, now you are claiming this is my house, this is my family, this is my car, this is my money, my clothes, my everything. Now you became the God of your world. But the problem is that You might think that you are God of this world, but you can't change its rules. You can't stop the weather. You can't stop the change of time. You can't stop anything. You cannot change anything. So as a result, what happened? After trying to enjoy, you only find what? Suffering. Only suffering will come. Oh, I thought by studying a lot, I would be able to have a nice job. Now I have this job, I am stressed. I have burnout. Oh, I thought that I will make nice money to have a nice marriage, but now I have so much quarrel and fight in my marriage. Now everything is spoiled. So all the plans we are making in this world to be happy are going in the drain. And then after so much suffering, we come to the next step. What is the next step? Mukti. Say, hey Bhagavan, please don't give me anything more in this world. I am tired of suffering, trying to enjoy, but only suffering. Now I want mukti. Please take me out of this world. Isn't it? So this is the devotional business that common people are doing. I hope that here no one is doing like this. I'm not speaking about of any one of you here. I know you are all very sincere devotees and you have come here only for the pleasure of Radha Govinda. I hope that you have come always with open heart and offer your heart to Radha Govinda. Radha Govinda, please take, do it as you please with me. I am sure that all of you are in that page. But mostly in general, not only in Hinduism, in any religion, people are very transactional. The same pattern of dharma, artha, kama, moksha are also in the other religions as well, but just different names. But because humans' mentality is the same. Humans are the same everywhere. There is no difference. We have same aspirations, same illusions. We have same defects. We have same virtues, qualities. Everything is the same. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So how to cure this deep disease of lust in our heart? To change the system of being in the center and coming out and then putting Krishna in the center. This is our challenge. So here in our songbook, there is a very beautiful song. This is called Atma Nivedan. This song was written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it is beautifully describing the very bhav, the very nature of the real devotee of Krishna. And I'm going to read and then explain to you this song. He's saying, Atma Nivedan tua pade kori hoinu paramasuki. Dukha dure gelo chintana rohilo chodike ananda deki. So surrendering my soul at your lotus feet, I have become extremely happy. All suffering and pains in me has vanished. There are no anxieties more in my mind. I find only joy everywhere in four directions. So when I surrender my soul to God, that's the only way to be happy. That is the only way to be happy. Why? Because we were made for that. Krishna made us for that purpose only, to serve Him. So you want to be happy, there is a way to be happy. And that way is to always try to make Krishna happy. Then you can feel happy. Next we say, Ashoka Abhay Amrita Adhar Tomar Charana Dvay Tahate Akon Vishrama Lobhya Charinu Bhavira Bhoy. Your true lotus feet are the abode of immortal nectar, where one can live free from sorrow and fear. I find place there now after forsaking the fear of worldly existence. One of the name of Krishna is Abhay. He is the one who can inspire fearlessness. You know what is the opposite of love? This is fear. Opposite of love is fear, not hate. In fear, we begin to paralyze, right? When you are fearful, you paralyze. And that paralysis, it means our spiritual obliteration. So if you have fear of existence, if you have fear of living, of being in this planet, fear of so many things, of war, nature catastrophes, and whatever it may be, even fear from God itself, Maharaj well remember. So if you have all these fears, what does it mean? It means that you are not understanding that God is embodiment of love. And that fear will prevent you from understanding that behind all this theater, this drama that we are watching, there is only love. There is only love. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, one verse is saying, Bhayam dvita biniveshita sadhi saddapetasya viprayo smriti tam mayat buddha bhajetvam bhakti ekaisham gurudeva tatma. Beautiful verse from 11th canto. It says that bhayam dvita biniveshita sadhi, due to fear of existence, we create what? Abhinivesh. We create this material identification, this corruption that I am this body. These are my things. And then we become what? Entangled in Maya. We are completely under illusion. So the result of being in illusion means fear. The more fear you have, the more deluded you are. But then the verse says, Bhakti ekaisham gurudeva tatma. If you want to get rid of this fear and relax in the existence, stop watching news and things about this problem, that problem. This material world will always have problems. You're trying to solve the problems and think this world will be one day free of problems. Impossible. There was no single day of peace in the whole existence of this universe. And we are talking about millions and millions of years behind. There was no single day of peace, and you are thinking that you're going to make peace somehow? No, you can't make peace outside, but you can make peace inside. And when you realize that everything is being orchestrated by the laws of karma, why should you fear? Who is giving you the results of your karma? This is Krishna himself. Does Krishna give you any type of bad thing? He never gives us any bad thing. So why do you fear? Those who are fearing are those who are not actually connecting with God. And that means to be connected with love. So therefore, through the medium of Guru, he says, Guru Deva Tatma, when you make Guru your life and soul, then you can become what? Free from this fear, from this material identification. Why? Because Guru is like our shelter. Guru is that person who sees Krishna, who is completely surrendered in the hands of Krishna. He has no anxiety, he has no fear, he has nothing negative. He only has what? He's overflowing with love, with compassion. And for him doesn't matter if he's here, if he's in hell, if he's in Swarga, that doesn't matter. Because he's always with Krishna. He's always happy. And ultimately he knows the soul is eternal and the soul never dies. This body can die. You die someday. Everyone has to die. But the problem is how we are living. Are we really cultivating our true nature or not? This is what we should consider. The next he's saying, Tomara sansari kuribo sevana nahibo falera bhagi tava sukha jahe kuribo jattana hoye padi anuragi. I shall render service in your household, but shall not enjoy the gains of such service. I shall rather care for whether pleases you in complete devotion, and thus I am always enchanted by remembering your lotus feet. Where is Bhagavan's household? Does Bhagavan has house in this world? So where is Bhagavan's samsara? Where is Bhagavan's household? The whole universe. So wherever you are already in Krishna's house. But you have not understood that you are the servant of this house. Now you are thinking, I am the boss. This plot belongs to me. This 100 square feet plot, this belongs to me. This is my property. That other is also my thing. You are trying to play God in this world. The only problems, only suffering, nothing that you can do for that. But what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I will accept the service in your household, he's saying to Krishna, but I will not enjoy the gains of such service. Means, I'm not serving for my benefit, I'm not serving to receive any type of payment, anything in demand. I'm only serving for Krishna's pleasure. And now comes the most beautiful verse of this song. Tomara sevai dukkha hoy joto seoto parama sukha seva sukha dukkha parama sampada nachaya vidya dukkha. So even if troubles are faced in performing your service, it will be cause of great happiness. For in your devotional service, joy and sorrow are equally valuable. Both destroy the misery of ignorance. Seva sukha dukkha parama sampada. So if in due course of my service to you, I will face some troubles, whatever may be, that will be the cause of my greatest happiness. Because everything about your service is happiness. Everything about Krishna Bhakti, this is happiness. There is no suffering, there is no trouble in Krishna Bhakti. But sometimes my own karma may come. Sometimes because I have acted badly in the past, I have to pay something now. I will accept it. Because I know Krishna is giving me that for my purification, for my benefit. So I should be always positive about everything. This is Krishna consciousness. If you become in duality, good and bad, problem. Everything is good. Therefore he is saying, joy and sorrow are equally valuable. How can you understand that joy and sorrow are equally valuable? If our mind is in duality, we will see things against each other. How can I feel pleasure and I feel also sorrow at the same time? I should never feel sorrow. But it may come. But my disposition will be always equal. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is the beginning? I forgot this verse. This Muni. Sorry, just slept. Yeah, I will say the meaning, yeah. So, this verse says that Krishna is saying that Muni, the real Muni, means the saint, the wise person, is that person who you see always in equal way, happiness and distress. And he will never feel anger towards anything. And he will never feel any type of anxiety about anything. He is completely what? Surrendered to the will of the Lord. And his actions in this world are always devotional action. Then next verse he is saying, Purva itihas bhulinu sakala seva sukha premani amito tomar tumito yamar ki kaj aparadhani. With great joy in my mind serving you, I have completely forgotten all my previous history. I am most certainly yours, and you are indeed mine. What is the need for other treasure? If Krishna is mine, I have the greatest treasure in my life. So, yesterday or 2 days ago, we were reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and this topic came. What is the definition of the highest bhakti? Is when you developed ownership towards God. Okay, the first step is, okay, I am his servant, I am his property. But as you develop your devotion, it comes now the opposite. No, Krishna is mine. Krishna is my property. Why? Because my love has reached such a high level that I am able now to control Krishna with my love. So this is the beauty of bhakti. Because bhakti is not only submissiveness. This is the beginning. But bhakti will develop into intimacy, into loving exchange, in the way that I can also control Krishna by my desire. Krishna, he is known as Parameshwar. He is the supreme controller. He is controlling each and every atom of this universe. But nevertheless, he can be controlled by the love of his devotees. So this is the highest achievement that we can have. So when we chant Harinam with this conviction that Krishna is mine, then you will be chanting pure name. That is what we are aspiring for. But that cannot also be artificial, that cannot be, just intellectually. You have to come to that stage. You have to uplift yourself to that, so that is going to be spontaneous. Then last he is saying, Bhakti vinoda anande duviha tomara sevara tore. Sabe chesta kore tavai chamato takiya tomara gore. Bhakti Vinod, diving into the ocean of bliss, says, all of my efforts are for your service, and I dwell in your house as per your wishes. So we are in God's house, not only this temple, but the whole universe. So our mentality should be how to become a servant. But what society is teaching us? No, you should be the boss. You should reign over everyone and everything. Then you'll be successful. You should be very powerful, very influential. You should become the prime minister, the president, the richest man in the world. Then you are successful. Then people will bow to you. You'll be able to control many things. These are the most poor people in the world. Those who have to fulfill this emptiness with material things. But from the other side also, many people are thinking, no, I am God. What to speak of being the servant of God? I am God myself. Everyone is God. You are also God. Aham brahmasmi, tattvamasi, sarvam kalidam brahmam, pragyanam brahmam. This was what Shankaracharya told. These are the 4 Mahavakyas of Shankaracharya. Aham brahmasmi, I am Brahma. Tattvamasi, you are also Brahma. Sarvam kalidam Brahma, all knowledge means Brahma. Sarvam kalidam Brahma, Brahma is everywhere. Pragyanam Brahma, all knowledge is Brahma. These are the most actually dangerous and sinful thing. Because even an atheistic person, he might say, okay, I don't believe in God. God does not exist. So at least he is putting himself and God in a different position. But those who say that I am God and you are God, they are worse than atheists. Because they are comparing themselves. They are actually stealing the post of God. That is even worse than being an atheistic person. So in this way, somehow or other, Maya is cheating us. Maya is covering our vision from the real situation. We have come in this material world. We cannot control anything. We are not owners of anything. We are bound to suffer, to have reactions of our karmas. But still, how can we claim that I am God? I used to say that if God wants to become me or you or anyone, I'd rather to be atheistic, because this is not the God that I worship. Because my God is the Almighty. My God has no desire to become each one of us. For what? To experience material miseries, material lust, material enjoyment. For what? He has to become us. So this is the most foolish idea, that God needs to become us. One time in Jagannath Puri Dham, in the temple of Jagannath, in Jagannath Puri there is a very famous temple of Shankaracharya. This is called Govardhan Mat. Most of people in Puri, they follow Shankaracharya. So at that time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the same author of this song, he was the president of Jagannath temple. So the group of Shankaracharya Mat, they came to him and told him, we want to suggest that on top of Jagannath temple, you should remove the Sudarshan Chakra and you should put a statue of a dog. You say, what is this? Kya baat hai? You want to put a statue of a dog on top of Bhagavan's dome temple? He said, yes, everything is Brahm. There is no difference between Jagannath and a dog. Oh my God, I feel even that I am, just by speaking this, making offense. Such a, nasty thing to say. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur chastised them and told them very, very clear that you cannot be God, you are not God, and you never be God. You are just under illusion. Therefore we call them Mayavadis. Mayavadis means those who believe in the theory of Maya. What Shankaracharya preached? Shankaracharya said, if everyone is Brahma, how can Brahma be? And then you have different stages, right? So first you have that very thick black juice that some people, wants to take, mixing with things. Then if you let it hard more, then it becomes jaggery. And if you cook it more, then it becomes candy. First sugar and then candy you be. Candy is the last stage of condensement. So in the same way, Krishna wants to boil our love by provoking this separation. So right now we are in separation from Him because we are not having Him in our lives. Now we are running behind Him. Why is that? Because our love has to boil, has to mature, has to condense. Right now our love is what? Very weak. If you drop sugarcane juice on the ground, what happened? Absorbs immediately, right? It's gone, lost. There is no strength in that. Cannot survive to any, changes. But if you drop candy, never lost. You can just blow it, no dust. But even if jaggery comes and falls, it will become more dirty. Because it has different surface, it will absorb more things. So until our love comes to that point, we will not be able to have the meeting with Krishna. Until our mamata, our possessiveness towards Him will not mature, we won't be able to have Him. So that is why we have to keep calling. And what is the best way to call for Krishna? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some people say, why God has name, why God has form. This is limiting God, right? They say. If God has a form, like a body, He's limited. How He can be all pervasive, how He can be everywhere if He has a body? It's a good question, a fair question. But there is a very easy and simple answer for that. That God, He can make the impossible possible. And He can be everywhere at the same time being in one place. That is why Krishna created Brahma, which is the effulgence coming out of his body, and Paramatma. So through Brahma and through Paramatma, he is everywhere, and at the same time, he is only in one place in Goloka Vrindavan. So God has three aspects: Brahma, Bhagavan, and Paramatma. Bhagavan, Krishna himself, is the source. Brahma is the effulgence of his toenails. He says that in Bhagavad Gita. And Paramatma is his expansion in the material world, inside of each atom of the material world. This is how Krishna is everywhere, and still he is having one body. He expands himself. So in this way, this is how we can... Okay, I was explaining. So why he has name? Because this is the only way that we can call him. If a child, in India, they have this tradition that when child born, you don't give name so quick as in the West. In the West, 6 months before child born already have name, the gender, everything you know. In India, no. No gender revelation before birth, also even no name given. They wait for some time, so let's see what will come. Let me see this Swabhav. What is this inner nature? Then we can give some name accordingly. And they will call Jyotish to check the proper syllable to begin. What is that? So they have patience to that. But in that period, how do you call the child if child has no name? Right? So they don't call. Otherwise they say the son of someone. Right? This is Amit's son or Nipal's son, whatever it may be, right? So there will be always a reference towards parents or some important person. Maybe he's the grandson of that important man, like that. So in the same way, if you don't know God's name, how are you going to call for him? So God must have name. And he has the most beautiful name. His name is Krishna. Krish means the all attractive, the most attractive one. Krish comes from akarshan, means to attract. So God is that person who is attracting everything to him. We study in physics about orbit, gravity, law of gravity, like how the center of the earth attracts everything to it, right? That we call gravity. So God is the center of the whole existence, and he's attracting everything to him. So, in the same way, he is manifesting himself in one way, at the same time in three different ways. Therefore, he is one as well as he is many. Eka and Aneka. So in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Vadanti tastvata vidatyajya gyanam dvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavamiti shabdate. The great seers of the truth, the munis, the rishis, they describe the absolute truth in three different features. Bhagavan, Brahma and Paramatma. This is how Krishna is one, at the same time he is many. This is how he is indivisible, but at the same time he is divisible. Because Bhagavan is the only one who can harmonize contradictions. He is the only one who can dwell within the paradoxes. Perhaps you heard about quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Everyone hear about this nowadays. Many famous people are making tons of money and speaking wrong things about quantum physics and connecting these with that. Quantum physics and Vedanta, quantum physics and Ayurveda, quantum physics and whatever. Now everything is about quantum now. The quantum cleaner, the quantum vacuum, whatever is there. Everything now became quantum. This is not proper way to see things. I did my graduation, post-graduation in Bhakti Shastri from the Florida Vedic College in USA, in Florida. And there my paper was the quantum Vedanta as it is. That was my paper. So what I am describing there is actually, we should not associate this quantum physics with Vedanta. Why? Because if you study the quantum physicists Planck, Heisenberg, and others, how they described quantum physics and Vedanta is Mayavadi. Because they were influenced by whom? Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, all the Mayavadis. Vivekananda, he is not even Mayavadi, he is atheistic himself. He says that reading Bhagavad Gita and playing football is the same thing. So they are not Sanatanis. Don't think they are Sanatanis. They are not. They are Mayavadis. They are against our philosophy, against Vedas, against everything. So then the quantum physicists, what they say is that in the same way that in the quantum reality, in the subatomic reality, there is the paradox. In the same way, your Atma and Brahma are also same, at the same time different. This is what they say. And they want us to realize that we are that Brahma. In the ultimate reality, there is nothing. There is only one singularity. This is basically behind the theory of that. But in fact, this is not what our Vedanta teaches. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he teaches about Vedanta, and what he says? Achincha Bheda Bhed. The inconceivable difference and non-difference between the souls and God. Different in which aspect? Different in quantity, in potency. God, he is Vibhu, colossal, and we are Anu, we are atomic. He can create, destroy, maintain everything. We cannot do anything. We hardly can maintain our own houses. What to speak of maintain the universe, right? But we are similar in quality, because he is Satchitananda, we are also Satchitananda. So if we are there to compare quantum, the subatomic reality with Vedanta, we have to use Mahaprabhu's Vedanta, the real Vedanta, because the paradoxes are not to be resolved. The paradoxes are to be contemplated. Paradoxes are the poetic language that God found to make the impossible possible. You got my point? I repeat this. Paradoxes are the poetic way that God found to make the impossible possible. And God is the only one who can dwell in paradoxes, in contradictions. Krishna, he is the very embodiment of contradictions. But in him, those contradictions are perfect, beautiful, harmonic, balanced, and full of bliss. But in this material world, contradictions, they are what? They are making things impossible, right? If you have a paradox, you cannot solve it. How can a door be open and closed at the same time? Can you solve this? Cannot. I was last week in Faridabad, in India, and I was giving class there. Then I brought up one very famous paradox. This is called God and the rock. This is mostly used by the Western philosophers. So the question is, if God is omnipotent, is he able to create a rock so heavy that he cannot lift? Do you follow me? If God is almighty, he can do anything. Can he create a rock that he cannot lift? This is a paradox. Now comes the point, okay, he is almighty and he can create that rock. But then, if he cannot lift it, he's not almighty. And if he cannot create that even, he will also not be almighty. So how to come out of this? How to come out of this? Anyone has any clue? Coco? This is the great debate in the West. Tell me.
First, you cannot lift it, it's too heavy, so you can't lift it. The next moment you lift it up.
Yes, this is one solution. This is one solution. He's saying that God, He can create that rock that He cannot lift. And as He created it, now He is able to become again powerful and be able to lift it. So this is one of the solutions of that. This is what we say the solution in Tattva. Why is that? Because God can make the impossible possible, right? This is one of His potencies called Aghatta Ghattana Patyashi. He can make the impossible possible. So He can make that paradox possible. So He can create that rock that He cannot lift. But at the same time, in the next moment, He is able to lift that because He can do anything. So He is omnipotent in both timings, in both stages of time, for creating and for lifting. So because He is beyond time, Krishna is the master of time. Right? So this is the explanation in Tattva. But what is the explanation in Rasa? The explanation in Rasa is much more sweet. Huh?
Maybe the song voluntarily becomes so light, so Krishna can lift it.
Almost that. The thing is, Maharaj, 2 minutes. I'm just concluding this and then, okay. So, when Krishna, he was very small, like 1 year, 2 years. Sometimes Jashoda and Nanda, especially Nanda Maharaj, his father, he used to say, Krishna, please bring my sandals to me. And Krishna, he tries to pick up those sandals, but they are too heavy, he cannot lift it. And then he's failing. See, Parameshwar, Paramatma, Parabrahma, he is unable to lift a simple wooden sandal. But a couple of years later, with his small pink finger from left hand, he's lifting the huge mountain of Govardhan. So he can make the impossible possible. He is that God who cannot lift a sandal, but can lift a huge mountain with his small finger. So that is why Krishna, he can be defeated by that rock that he creates and he cannot lift. And everything is fine with that because our God, he plays that. Our God is not the Almighty One. Krishna is not God, first of all. Our God is not playing the role of God. So it is totally fine if he can create that rock that he cannot lift. Because our God, he is beyond his own rules. And he's showing himself just like that small baby. Completely depending on mother, father, parents, relatives, and everyone. He's completely dependent on the love of his devotees. If Mother Yashoda will not feed him, he will perish. If she will not chastise and educate him, he will become a thief. So this is actually our God, who at the same time is playing not God. So he always dwells in paradoxes. He always dwells in the impossible. So this is our Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarvesha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.